Straight out of Central PA, it's the Ol Dirty Basement Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ol Dirty Basement. I am Matt. If you may remember me, with me always is Dave and Zap, and we also have Juice in the house today. What's up, Juice?
How you doing?
All right, man.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
It's like a Stain song. It's been a minute.
It's been a while. Yeah, that is a Stain song. Yeah, but we were working on something. Yeah, we had a new podcast we've been working on. We hope you guys went over and checked it out.
Yeah.
Can you tell them where to go?
If you haven't already, if you're listening to this podcast, go to your screen, whatever app you're using, and type in, perform a search for You Might Be a Madman. That's the new podcast. It's like changing the channel. You Might Be a Madman.
What's that all about? Let them know. Let them know a little something about the Madman.
So basically, it's a podcast, it's a game show podcast, and that's actually Juice was here. We just wrapped up recording one. We were all contestants. There was a guy, Cam, here. I don't know where he went. He was here as a contestant.
He flew home.
I was going to say, I think much like LL Cool J, he was going back to Cali.
Going back to Cali, yeah.
Or I don't think so.
Yeah. But basically, we take you, or Zap is like kind of the host. You're Bob Barker, you would say, or Pat Sajak.
You pick.
And he takes us through a notorious individual, and we get multiple choice questions, and you answer, what would you do? And if you think like the madman, you might be mad.
That's exactly right. You are to place yourself into the shoes of the madman, and for each question, it's what would you do?
And I think a cool aspect with that too is at home you're riding along in your car, you're heading to work, you're heading home from work, you get these questions, you can think over them, ponder them a little bit, and you can in your mind be like, oh, I would do this or I would do that, and then you might just be a little mad, you might be a little crazy.
That's right. So each episode, of course, is separate and distinct and unique of itself, and you get to play along with our studio contestants.
Yeah, the only issue is the studio contestants are the only ones eligible for the prizes.
That's true.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, there's some nice
those
prizes.
listening at home are not eligible for those.
Prizes are provided by our sponsors, and our sponsors are fantastic. In fact, I've actually heard from people already. They listen to the podcast more for the advertisements than they do for the podcast.
Actual podcast.
Yeah.
Which I think too is what I think the direction we're going in is, if you do listen to it, you'll get a kick out of some of the what we have sponsors, we have different and you might think you might want to go to these stores or something, or you might just try to look these up. But I think we had to get J-Dub in here to make
a clearance thing, or like a disclaimer, I guess it would be.
That's what a big word.
If you can find those stores, please let us know, because I would love to go there. But again, I can't say it enough. Perform a search on your podcast player for You Might Be a Madman.
Yeah. So, Juice, what did you think? Now, you just you've listened to the two, and you sat in on the episode. You enjoying it? You digging it?
Oh yeah, I love them. They're the perfect length. They're like 40 minutes, perfect for the drive home. They're entertaining. It keeps you involved. You get into the story and you're thinking about the questions and answers, and you can see how you match up with the guests.
Yeah, so definitely check it out.
For sure. And kudos to Dave, especially for this one. His production on this is second to none. You will hear it, a truly immersive experience. I'm talking background, subtle and soft and eerie music. You'll hear sound effects. It's really, really good. Yeah,
man. We hope you check it out and I hope you enjoy it. But we've been up to some other stuff. Been hanging out, doing some cool stuff. Last Friday, we went to a cool concert. Matt, Zap, and I got to go down to Philly and check out Deftones and hang out for the night, and had a good time.
You know what was cool was actually you and J-Dub, we had one guy drive down, one guy drive back.
Yep.
But we had some kids in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
we had generations in there.
Took some kids with us. No, not like that. But generations. It was a good time. We had a luxury bus.
We sure did. I particularly, one of the best moments to really put a cap on the night was when Matt played an old favorite of ours from our formative years, that when Matt and I were driving to school in Matt's car, of course. It's one of those songs that we would just rewind over and over and over again.
Yeah, there was a bunch of those. It was a therapy song. I don't know if we can mention it.
Yeah, you definitely can mention it. Yeah. We just can't play it.
Yeah, we can't play it. That sucks.
It was Screamager.
Yes, therapy Screamager. Yeah. But that was on 180 minutes,
120 minutes.
120 minutes.
On MTV.
I got a little longer in my minutes there.
And Matt was in Disney
Yes,
while
I
we were
was.
away. And Juice is actually a Disney expert.
I've been to Disney so many times.
But weren't you like a
performer?
Tour guide?
No, I'm actually still able to sell Disney trips, but I haven't done too much of that. It's amazing how complex Disney is now. I mean, you can go and have a good time, or you could really get involved and,
Well, they have an app for everything.
Yeah.
It was insane. I give shout out to my wife who was actually getting these fast passes here and there. They would give free ones and you'd hit them up real quick and then you're rushing to get on this one ride and it was fun. We actually had we stayed at the Animal Kingdom, so we had the early entry.
Yeah,
Yes.
early park entry.
That's key. That's key. if
Yes. I
you
think
get that extra half hour.
Mm-hmm. And we rode like the one mountain one. I forget what it's like, the Yeti or whatever.
Everest.
Yes, Everest. We rode that like
yeah.
3 or 4 times in a row before anybody was even in the park.
Does the
Yeah.
Matterhorn still exist
In California.
in California? That's the only. I've never been to
Disneyland.
Disney World. I've been to Disneyland. However,
Oh,
I have
for
been
real?
to. I've been to Epcot.
Epcot is
Epcot's
fun.
a good time, yeah.
Disney World.
Juice brought up a good point. He said we should do episodes on like Disney crimes.
Sure.
Because there probably is some crimes that go on down there, I'm sure.
Take some digging.
Yeah, but you can find them, I'm sure.
What is it, like an evil stepmother? She like locks her daughter in the basement or something.
I just saw 2 guys getting like a fist fight. People were recording down there.
See,
you know.
I guess I misunderstood where you were going with that. I thought it was something about like Goofy Goes Wild or some kind
It could be that too.
craziness like
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of fights in Disney.
Zap's been to Epcot, and one thing Epcot has become is a adult park because of all the
Drinking
various
around the
drinking.
world.
Yeah, yeah.
So drinking around the world has become a big thing, and
Mhm.
they've got 11 countries, and you figure if you go around the world, 11 countries, and get a drink from every one, eventually you're going to be pretty sauced. And
Yes.
there's bachelorette parties that go and try it. There's all kinds of people go and try it, and there are many videos out there you can find on YouTube of all kinds of things going on with that challenge.
So thank you for saying that. So it truly does become a challenge.
Yes.
There's T-shirts and everything like Disney.
Like I
themed
survived the 11
T-shirts.
country drinking
Yes,
contest.
And Disney doesn't endorse it. It's
not
not
at
a
all.
Disney thing.
Sure.
It's things that people just, hey, I'm going to go try this. And like Matt said, they make up their own T-shirts. I think I've offered the idea to Disney, like come up with like a 3-ounce like challenge so you can get a special 3-ounce drink all at 11-1. That way, by the time you get to the end of it, you're only,
couple
30 ounces of liquor rather
Yeah,
than.
I'm surprised they
you know,
didn't. Especially, I'm just thinking from the money perspective. People are going to pay that price, and even if you're just giving them a thimble full of booze.
Oh well, Disney's not really worried about money from being there. Like I think they're doing okay.
But I think they're worried about image though, and
Yes.
having drunken people fighting and screaming and dancing and taking their clothes off and all kinds of crazy jumping in the lake, which all these things happen in front of kids and families. I think they would. You think they would try to curtail that?
If only they'd listen to Jermaine Stewart.
You don't have to take your clothes
Yeah,
off.
that's right.
You can
That's
have a good
jam.
time.
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
But Juice is right. It's turned into more like a 20-something to like 35, 40. And it's a lot of bachelorette parties. You see a lot of guys there with like 10 or 11 of their friends. Like the guys getting married and they're pretty much ripped, like hanging out in like Italy.
No, that's funny.
That's bananas.
Yeah, it's a lot different than. I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of families there with their kids, but you do see a lot of older people with no kids. And saying older, like I said, like 20s to 40s, even 50s, just hanging out, getting drunk.
I would go there and hang. I mean, I had a good time. I was there 3 times, 3 different times. The last time was 2020, and I got to say, I mean, I love Disney. It's a good time. I had to laugh though. Last time I was there, they had that Rise of the Resistance. It's like a new Star Wars. It was like the hottest thing that year.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did that. That's excellent.
So we were at staying at one of the All-Star Sports resorts, the All-Star Sports, I think it was, and we got on the bus, and this guy was about my age with wife and 2 younger kids, and he was so pissed, yelling at his wife and kids, like, I'm not going to get the ride. It's all your fault. This is the whole reason. And he's like screaming at his wife and kids about this ride.
Wait a second. Wait, I might have been wrong. What part of Disney has that Soarin' ride?
Oh, that's Epcot.
Epcot.
That is
Yeah,
Epcot.
yes,
okay,
yes,
because there's also a Star Wars John there.
I don't know. Juice would know better than me.
It's not the full-fledged Star Wars park immersive thing that they have wherever the hell they have it. It's just like a standalone, or it's some kind of Like you're it's almost like Alien. Like you're stepping into a spaceship, and then you're either trying to escape it or you're trying to escape something.
That's the one with C-3PO. I think that's Smuggler's Run.
Well, Rise of the Resistance is like a half-hour experience, and it was in Hollywood Studios.
It's immersive.
It's immersive,
like,
and
you're in the movie.
Yeah.
But this guy was so pissed, and I'm looking at him like, seriously, dude? Like, you're here with your 5, and I'd say his kids are probably like 5 and 7, and like he's screaming. He was so fired up about this ride, but I could see. Like, you're excited to go ride it, but dude, calm down.
Calm down.
You know what I mean?
Look, for my money, I'm going to Universal.
Yeah, Universal was pretty cool.
You want to talk about immersive, man? Pound for pound, I'm talking worldwide. Universal's where it's at.
I had to drink at Moe's Tavern.
Oh, did you?
Hell yeah.
I was there like when my kids were younger. The first time we went to Disney, we took a bus up to Universal, so they were a little young to really experience everything. But we got to do a little bit of it.
Yeah, man. You just get. I mean, we might know something about movies, so you get such a good movie feel for so many movies there. Let alone the Harry Potter world,
Transformers,
man, the Spider-Man, the Hulk ride,
all that stuff. Speaking of movies, we like to talk about movies. Obviously, we do the Vintage Cinema Review. I caught an old movie that I missed, and I told Matt, and I told you too about it, Zap, Vision Quest. Never saw that back in the day. What an awesome movie. I watched that while we were off, these few months off. In between, I got to watch that with Matthew Modine. Great movie.
I enjoyed it. Dave mentioned it to me, so I watched it, and it's actually... like it's like the prime, but I mean it has like a wrestling theme, which not many movies are based around, like high school wrestling. The guy wanted to move up because it was a tougher bracket, and like everybody's like, "Oh man, you're crazy!" Like he's going against like the best kid in the state, and meets this like older woman who moves in with him for some reason.
She was like 21.
Yeah.
Wait a second, Vision Quest. This isn't a sci-fi movie.
No.
It's about high school wrestling.
Galaxy Quest. There is something.
Galaxy Quest. Alas, I have never seen Vision Quest.
But there was another movie you guys always talk about, and I rented it on Amazon, and the 48 hours ran out. It was, what's the one with...
Time Bandits?
No, it's with the car. You said that...
The DeLorean.
The aliens are obsessed with these older cars.
The Hidden.
The Hidden. So I was here, one of those nights I was there.
Wait a second. Time. You paid for it?
Yes.
And you didn't watch it?
I started it. Watched like a few minutes, and then we had to go or do something. I forgot about it. The rental ran out.
It's with the guy from Men in Black was one of the guys that was in it. Remember, he was one of the bad guys.
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely correct. Yeah. So Kyle MacLachlan's in that.
Kyle MacLachlan's actually pretty cool in that.
Oh man,
they're aliens. They dig like Ferraris, Lamborghinis.
It's so good, so damn good.
Did you ever see that one, Juice? The Hidden. Yeah. Nope. Me neither. I rented it because they're always talking about it, and I missed it. So there's an old movie I watched that I dug. Like, have you guys seen anything lately? Anything that's been good that you missed maybe back in the day?
It's crazy with that writers and the actors strike. Was it last year or the year before? There's been kind of a glut when it comes to stuff being released. I just found out that they were still filming up in Canada, though.
Oh, really?
They had a strike up there, but it was really short. So I remember hearing somebody saying that some of the shows that are produced up there and filmed up there are still running, being released.
Well, good. I'm glad we picked them up as our 51st state. Most recent movie I've seen, I should say, insofar as new movies, I saw that new Captain America where it's not Captain America anymore. It's the black Captain America.
Yeah.
What was he before? Falcon?
He was a Falcon.
Falcon. It's not. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, Harrison Ford is look. Harrison Ford's like 137 years old. I'm sorry, dude. Hang it up, man. Be done. Be done. Red Hulk is weird. It's also like I can see the difference between Falcon as Captain America versus Captain America as Captain America, and by that I mean you can tell that Falcon, and they really go to great lengths to show you that Falcon is not. He never took that serum that makes him all, badass and he can jump over tall buildings with a single bound or whatever, like Captain America. Like, this is just a dude. Now, look, he's covered in vibranium and he's got the shield and he's got these badass wings and stuff like that. But he's still not, biologically enhanced like Captain America. So, I mean, it ends with, I realize here I got really big shoes to fill. I should have taken that serum. There's a touchy-feely moment where, no, man. It's not that at all. You embody the spirit of Captain America. That's why you're the new Captain America. And I can dig that. But still.
He's not a super soldier.
Correct. It's weird to see that.
I saw the old, I guess it would have been the first Captain America. That's the one where back in the 40s or whatever, they engineered and
Sure.
did whatever. That's the okay. I haven't seen any of the new ones, but these superhero movies, I can't keep up, man. There's so many of them.
Transformers 1 I just saw last week. That was awesome. If you guys like Transformers or ever
Is that the animated one?
Yes.
Dude, I saw that.
It is the best Transformers I've seen out of all the other ones they put out.
I like the story. To be clear, love the story. I thought it was a great story. I didn't like the
animation or
some of the voices. I didn't like some of the voices. I didn't.
Well, they were all big time actors. I think that they took for it.
I get it. By voices, I mean the dialogue. I didn't like some of the dialogue. There's just
cheesy.
There's just euphemisms used in today that is just dumb, which makes I should say as a result makes that movie not timeless because it's using it has newer things in it that just like current jargon, current slang.
Some of the stuff that Bumblebee was saying maybe, and
is it animated? You said
it's animated,
but again, no doubt it is good. It's damn
cool.
good.
It's a cool movie.
What's it on? Like Netflix or
I don't know.
It's a really really good origin story of Optimus and Megatron.
Yes, like in the whole background, like I really dug that with them two. How cool they were together. When Megatron started getting, he just wanted to destroy everything. I'm not giving the movie away, but I thought it was done well. I enjoyed it.
I concur. Again, loved it. Really, really loved it.
But just some of the dialogue. I got you.
I'll have to check it out.
Juice, what have you been watching?
Well, I talked to Dave about this earlier, but that Godzilla Minus One. I think if you haven't seen that, I grew up a big monster fan. And back when I grew up, you didn't have DVDs or on demand or any of that. You had to wait every Sunday for that TV guy to come out and look for your favorite movies. And when I was a kid, we'd have a monster movie week, and that was the week I'd always stay inside after school. And big Godzilla fan. And this new movie, Godzilla Minus One, I think it's 1 or 2 years old. It's unbelievable. It's like it was made.
Is it with the Japanese with the ships?
They made it
in the water.
Oh, really?
I seen that. That
so
is very good.
highly recommend that.
I think it's incredibly coincidental, or dare I say serendipitous, that Matt and I had mentioned Transformers 1, and you're watching Godzilla Minus One.
Yeah, right. How about that?
Yeah.
I'll tell you
the
something.
stars align.
I'll tell you something I watched that's newer, and it's a show. It's called Adolescent, and it's on Netflix. It was phenomenal. It's like 4 episodes. It's like a little short mini-series.
It's the British one.
Which usually I don't like the UK stuff, the British stuff. I usually check out.
The one actor, the dad, he's in a lot of.
Favorite,
that guy's awesome. He's in a lot of. What are those movies that you like?
Guy Ritchie.
Yes, he's in a lot of Guy Ritchie movies.
Speaking of Guy Ritchie, do not sleep on Mobland.
Yes, you were telling me about that.
You need this show in your life. A Guy Ritchie classic. Loving that he's made this a show. It is phenomenal. Yeah. Mobland, so good.
Dave, tell him a little bit about Adolescent. That was really, really good.
Yeah, so it's like I said, 4-part. Basically, the premise is like a 13-year-old. In the beginning, the very opening episode, they storm the house and arrest him for murder. And it's basically a one-shot, like you're watching it the whole way through, taking them in, processing, lawyer,
Right away, kid, I didn't do it. I don't know what they're talking about. Yeah.
And it's just very well done. The acting's superb. And I think Brad Pitt was involved in the production or direction of it.
I don't know who the kid that played in that was, but he did he was so believable, not believable. Like, and even the family was really good. And the who was it, the psychiatrist or whatever?
Yeah, she was good.
She was really good. All around, like you said, a great
it's a good show.
4-part show. Is there going to be more to that?
That's it. It's done.
Okay.
It pretty much wrapped up. Watching Reacher, which is a good one. Yeah,
I finally saw the first season of Reacher, which I liked.
Dude, that reminds me. I saw a commercial the other day. There's yet another Mission Impossible coming out. I'll tell you what, man. Tom Cruise, somehow, some way, he made that into a hell of a franchise. Yeah. I mean, damn. How many movies are in that?
It's like the Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
that's actually one of the first things I thought of. Like, there's so many in my.
So you don't even know which one. You're like, did I see that one? I don't know.
You don't even know.
You don't even know.
Oh my god!
And speaking of Tom Cruise and Top Gun, Val Kilmer passed away while we were off. That's a shame because he was.
Yeah, we talked about that. I think we all texted each other.
That's right. Yeah. Top Gun, and I loved him in Doc Holliday as Tombstone. Doc Holliday. That was a great role.
It should be known far and wide that, in my opinion, his best was Real Genius.
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
I didn't like him in Maverick.
He was good in The Saint.
The Saint, you talk about that one, yeah. There was
I
one of
forgot
the
about The Saint. Damn, that's
Yeah.
a good one too, dude. That's a really good movie. That's an unsung.
That's with
classic.
Elizabeth Shue in
Hell
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man, she was in her prime.
Mhm.
hell yeah.
I seen her one time in Washington, D.C. I think I mentioned that before.
Yeah,
Yes, you
it
did.
did come up.
Yeah, my
Few
wife was
times.
like, I was checking this girl out. My wife's looking at me like, "Who are you looking at?" And I was like, "That's Elizabeth Shue." She's like, "I don't care who that is." She's like, "What do you?" Because I think it was like one of her anniversaries or something.
You're
I was like, "No,"
distracted.
I was like, "It's Elizabeth Shue." She's like, "I don't know who the hell you're talking about."
No idea who it is.
Yeah,
But the Saint, that was in one of our true crimes, one of the criminals that we covered. Do you remember that one? It was, anyway, he modeled a lot of what he was doing off that character, the Saint. That's the first time that I had ever heard about it when you brought it up. But so that was Val Kilmer in the movie. I have to check that out.
Yeah, it's interesting. She was in The Saint with Val Kilmer, and she was in Cocktail with Tom Cruise.
yeah.
Mm.
She
They both
gets
were in Top
around.
Gun.
6 Degrees of
She was in Adventures in Babysitting.
She's a hooah.
Yeah.
But she was in a movie with Kevin Bacon too, like the two brothers. There was like a power outage. It's an older movie. It's actually really cool.
Like a three-way.
Yeah, well, it kind of got into that.
I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Scandalous.
Juice, what do you got?
Well, I just came back from Prague. Took 2 teams of hockey players over to Prague for a beer tournament. That was pretty interesting. Prague's a beautiful city, and having 40 people that we had in our group, taking the city over, walking around. It was a very, very good time.
It was like a Prague version of Youngblood.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, nice.
We our 2 teams finished 8th and 9th. We played against teams from Kazakhstan and Latvia and France, Canada. But it was a neat international tournament. But we had time to walk around the city. We stayed in the historic area, and that city is so beautiful. They didn't get a lot of the bombing in World War II, so the old part of the town is still pretty much intact, and it's just phenomenal walking around, seeing some of the old buildings. And they have this astrological clock that was built in 1410.
Oh, wow.
I kind of
Jeez,
joked like
dang.
that's older than America. And
Yeah.
Can set your watch to that one, huh?
I know, right?
it's weird. The dials is like sun and moon and all this stuff. They explained it, but of course I forgot it. But really interesting. Even the food is different over there. The beer is different. It's not as heavy.
No hangover.
It was like a Pilsner.
It was weird. No, there was no
So you'd mentioned you'd gone over for a beer tournament or tour?
tournament.
Tournament.
Hockey tournament.
What, so a beer, not beard.
like friendlies, like
Yeah,
a
it's-
friendly
Yeah,
friendly
it's,
games.
It's a hockey tournament that
Involves
features,
Revolves around
features
beer.
beer. Yeah.
Holy shit.
You
That's
beer-
amazing.
beer and
you play
hockey.
and you drink beer.
I'm
Yeah.
cool with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, when you're getting scored, like the one game we lost 14-1, and so our host brought over a tray of beers while we're on the bench.
Was
So
that Kazakhstan? Because I thought they would bring over like a goat,
Yeah, right.
some sort of edible.
Number 2 prostitute
Yes.
in all of Kazakhstan.
well, we did like one night they did a river cruise, so we got a couple teams on a boat and went up the river there and came back, and pretty beautiful, pretty nice.
Nice.
You also got to hang out with Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie a couple months ago played actually hockey with him and talked some football and hockey. And he one interesting fun fact about him is he owns 3 vintage Batmobiles from the old TV show. And he
So we're talking the 1960s something, Lincoln Futura.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he and actually he drives them around town, so he doesn't just keep them parked in a garage. He
So
actually
everybody
drives
can be
them
like,
around.
"There's Doug Flutie."
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking about, just think about the money that a Batmobile, the OG Batmobile costs.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I mean, the fact that you can just be that baller and drive it around.
Drive it around.
Like, you don't care about chips and paint and somebody doing whatever, throwing their there's no roof to that car.
Right.
So you're not worried about somebody throwing their milkshake at you or some shit like that.
Right.
That's Doug Flutie.
Yeah, Flutie's not worried about low T in that car.
Not in that car.
No.
He is
Hell
in the
no.
commercials in which he participates.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but no
yeah.
low T in that car.
No.
Yeah. That's awesome, though, Juice. You guys got anything else before we wrap it up?
All I can do is keep repeating over and over again. If you're listening to this, perform a search in your podcast platform for You Might Be a Madman.
Definitely. Matt, you got anything?
What Zap said. Check it
Awesome.
out. Check it out.
Juice, thank you, my man. Thanks for hanging out. And don't forget, like Zap said, go find us on the other podcast. We'll definitely be back here in the ODB, so stay tuned. Follow us on Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. our social media. Also, you might be a Madman social media. And I guess that's it for now. So we'll catch you where?
On the flip side.
If we don't see you sooner, we'll see you later.
Peace. Thanks for hanging out in the Old Dirty Basement. If you dig our theme music like we do, check out the Tsunami Experiment. Find them on Facebook. Their music is available streaming on Spotify and Apple, and where great music is available.
You can find us at Ol Dirty Basement on Facebook and Instagram, and at Ol Dirty Basement Podcast on TikTok.
Peace.
We Audi 5000.